పొరుగు రాష్ట్రాలతో సమానంగా అభివృద్ధి సాధించాలంటే కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం సాయం తప్పనిసరి అన్నారు గవర్నర్ నరసింహన్. ఏపీ బడ్జెట్ సమావేశాల ప్రారంభం సందర్భంగా ఉభయ సభలను ఉద్దేశించి ప్రసంగించిన ఆయన 7 వెనుకబడిన జిల్లాల అభివృద్ధి కోసం కేంద్రం నుంచి ప్రత్యేక ప్యాకేజీ కోసం ఎదురు చూస్తున్నామని తెలిపారు. చేతులు జోడించి ప్రార్థించిన కేంద్రం సాయం మాత్రం అందలేదన్నారు. రాజధాని నగర నిర్మాణం మహాత్తర కార్యక్రమానికి ప్రభుత్వంపై విశ్వాసం ఉండాలన్నారు గవర్నర్. రాజధానికి భూములిచ్చిన రైతులకు ధన్యవాదాలు తెలిపారు.
గౌరవ అధ్యక్ష, స్పీకర్ మహోదయ, గౌరవ సభ్యులారా, ఈరోజు ఉభయ సభలను ఉద్దేశించి ప్రసంగిస్తున్నందుకు నాకు చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. మీ అందరికీ నా శుభాకాంక్షలు. The members may kindly recall my address in the legislature of the new state of Andhra Pradesh in June 2014, where I have exhaustively touched upon certain key issues resulting from the unscientific and hurried bifurcation process of the erstwhile state of Andhra Pradesh and the consequent hardship faced by the people. The provisions made in the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014 for the development of the state of Andhra Pradesh in regard to income generation, employment opportunities, health and educational institutions, R&D and training facilities, and the social infrastructure are inadequate to compensate the lost opportunities for the people of Andhra Pradesh. The decision to bifurcate the state without taking all the stakeholders on board and finalizing the capital city has caused avoidable hardship. The post-bifurcation issues, especially the huge financial deficits, continue to haunt the new state of Andhra Pradesh, which is home for 58.32% of the population of erstwhile undivided Andhra Pradesh state. My government, having inherited various kinds of deficits, took reins in the most difficult circumstances. Adding to the problems, the twin effect of Hudhud cyclone and drought compounded the agony. During these 9 months, my government have taken up all measures not only to overcome the difficulties but to convert the crisis into opportunity. My government will make all possible efforts to bring Rayalaseema and North Coastal Andhra Pradesh into the main fold of development umbrella. Road connectivity will be established from the new capital to these districts. My government believes that farmer is the backbone of the nation. My government's concern centers around reviving the agriculture sector and help the farming community. The farming sector, subjected to frequent crises, remains the major source of employment, supporting lakhs of farm families. The primary sector mission launched by my government will address the farm-related issues like enhancing value addition from horticulture, livestock and fisheries, and shortages in storage space, including cold storage. The latest NSSO survey projects that 93% of farmers in the state are debt-ridden, maximum in the country. Despite financial crisis, we are committed to implement the debt redemption scheme in respect of crop loans through Farmers Empowerment Organization. Having completed the first phase of the scheme, providing relief to a tune of rupees 5,000 crore to the eligible farmers in the state, we are finalizing the second phase beneficiary farmers. Together, in both the phases, millions of farmers will benefit from the biggest ever loan redemption and free them from debt trap. Relief to a tune of rupees 10,000 per acre is being provided to farmers growing horticulture crops. The adverse rainfall situation prevailed during the Kharif and Rabi season of 2014-15 affected the sowing areas and consequently production of food grains, which is projected to be 11 lakh tons, a fall of 4.7% over last year. Production of oilseeds too experienced a decline. To make matters transparent and accountable and help the farming community, a quantity of 16.24 lakh metric tons of paddy worth rupees 2,219 crores was purchased at minimum support price from 1.37 lakh farmers through RTGS account pay checks only. E-marketing is being put in place to eliminate the mediators' involvement. Through this process, electronic network will be set up, networking the markets, which improves linkage between farmers, food processors, and retailers. Extending a helping hand to the members of the families of the farmers who have committed suicide, my government have enhanced the compensation amount by more than 3 times from rupees 1.50 lakh to rupees 5 lakhs. This includes rupees 3.50 lakhs as ex gratia to the farmers' families and rupees 1.50 lakh towards their indebtedness to money lenders. The state has rich livestock resources with 291 livestock and 815 lakh poultry, providing livelihood to about 46 lakh farm families. The livestock sector, nearly contributing 6.5% to the state economy, added rupees 33,600 crores in 2013-14 to the state economy. The state producing one egg out of every 5 eggs produced in the country occupies the second position in egg production. The state is also one among the top producers of meat with an output of 4.89 lakh metric tons. Our milk production stands at 90.83 lakh metric tons. Fisheries sector is identified as one of the growth engines for the rapid socio and economic transformation of Andhra Pradesh. The state is endowed with bountiful resources such as vast coastline of 947 kilometers, immense brackish water potential, and productive inland water bodies, ponds, tanks, reservoirs, rivers, and lakes. Fisheries sector contribute 5.42% to the state GDP. Andhra Pradesh stands first in India in total fish, prawn production and value of fish prawn produced in India. My government is keen to make Andhra Pradesh the aquaculture capital of the world and a marine processing hub of the country. My government wants to make the state #1 in terms of processing capacity, value addition, and highest exports of seafood. Irrigation as an essential backbone for agriculture will continue to be the focus during this year also. In addition, our priority is to enhance water use efficiency for increasing irrigated area. The Polavaram project, which will be the lifeline of Andhra Pradesh, has been declared by the centre as a national project. The Polavaram Project Authority, with state and central officials as its members, will take care of getting all necessary clearances. Earmarking a meagre amount of rupees 100 crore for the Polavaram project, declared as a national project, has put our plans in disarray. Not encouraged by the minimal allocation in the union budget for this project, we will make all-out efforts to complete this dream project by March 2018. My government have identified 6 irrigation projects, namely Pattisima Lift Irrigation Scheme, Tatipudi, Handri Niva, Galeru Nagari, Veligonda, and Vamsadara projects to complete them on priority. The other projects will also get completed in a time-bound manner. My government remains pro-poor and will continue to uphold its promises for their betterment. With this concern, we have enhanced welfare measures, pensions by 5 times under the NTR Bharosa scheme. The monthly pension to destitute women and the aged has been raised from Rs 200 to Rs 1,000. In respect of the differently abled category, the monthly pension has been raised to Rs 1,500. We are contemplating to give pensions to about 1 lakh eligible persons also. My government is committed to spend Rs 25,000 crore in the coming years on welfare pensions alone. The eligible age limit for certain vulnerable tribes has been brought down from 65 to 50 years for drawing pension benefits. My government is committed to strengthen the technology usage in public distribution system by using EPOS, electronic point of sale device, in 6,000 identified high-density fair price shops having more than 750 white ration card holders to ensure that the commodity reach the beneficiaries without diversion with Aadhaar authentication. Welfare of SCs, STs, BCs, minorities and women is on the forefront of our welfare agenda. Our Ambedkar Vidyanidhi is taking care of education needs of talented SC and ST children. Orders have been issued for implementing NTR Udyonati for providing professional guidance during 2015-16. The SC and ST students now need not forego the opportunity to do post-graduation or any such courses in the best Western universities for want of financial support. My government is assisting the SC, ST students who can now go to 10 countries for pursuing higher education. Making payment of scholarships online to students of schools and colleges has been the hallmark of our graft-free governance. Free power is being given to 4.99 lakh SC, ST households with consumption limit not exceeding 50 units per month. My government is implementing the SC, ST sub-plan in letter and spirit. Post-metric education scholarships have been awarded to 34,181 ST students. My government is keen to develop the skills of the ST youth for their employability as part of implementation of social empowerment mission. During 2014-15, so far 3,172 ST youth were trained and provided placements. As a mark of respect and reverence to the great freedom fighter Alluri Sitharama Raju, my government have organized World Adivasi Day on August 9, 2014, declaring Alluri Sitharama Raju Jayanti as state festival on 4th July every year. Based on the priorities of government towards the welfare of tribal population, certain new programs like conversion of hostels into residential schools for providing quality education, drinking water, and other basic infrastructure related schemes, Giri Putrika Kalyana Pathakam for extending assistance of Rs 50,000 to tribal girls at the time of their marriage, strengthening of online monitoring of programs up to the last mile to improve transparency, etc., are proposed during 2015-16. My government is strongly committed to political, economic, and social empowerment of the backward classes. In tune with the promises made in the election manifesto, we will give special focus to the backward class people and implement schemes targeting their all-round development. With our BC declaration framework, we are planning to work out strategies that benefit the backward classes. Without hurting the interests of the BCs, government is committed to extending reservations to Kapu community. The BC federations and some of the corporations have become defunct in the last few years and could not optimally tap the central government funds. As part of our comprehensive and inclusive development agenda, we are planning to implement various welfare schemes for artisans, handloom workers, weavers, fishermen, washermen, shepherds, vaderas, and other backward class through a sub-plan for BCs. My government is committed to provide power tools, fishing nets, and other kits to the people depending on the nature of trade. The weaving community will be specially focused. As a part of giving fillip to the handloom sector, common work sheds and society buildings have been sanctioned. Reimbursement subsidy on purchase of hank yarn, dyes and chemicals is being offered to handloom weavers, cooperative societies. Neta bazaars have been constructed to enable the weavers to sell their products. Skills will be imparted to all the backward class people engaged in different activities. Development of minorities remains at the core of our welfare agenda. All programs such as Dukkan Makhan, Roshini and Shadi Khana will be implemented as promised. Introduction of honoraria for imams and muezzins is also on the anvil. Financial assistance offered as subsidy by the State Finance Corporation is planned to be linked to the credit component of the banks. More than 1 lakh minority students are being benefited under the various minority tuition fee and reimbursement of tuition fee schemes. Women's self-help groups and DWCRA of the state of Andhra Pradesh were once a global success story, which through social mobilization, community empowerment and capacity building became critical in the poverty eradication strategy. Empowering the groups to be active partners in the economic progress of the state is once again going to be the strategy of my government. My government is committed to waive loans of DWCRA women to a tune of rupees 10,000 and interest thereof. In order to keep the groups economically engaged under the poverty reduction strategy, my government have entrusted the paddy procurement and sand quarrying activities to DWCRA women. My government is unveiling a relief package for the groups in near future. The initiative to involve DWCRA groups in sand quarrying is paying dividends in insulating the quarries from the influence of mafia and also to empower women socio-economically. My government has sanctioned 2415 posts of nutrition counselor cum additional Anganwadi worker for 3 high-burden districts and 6,432 link worker posts to monitor nutrition for children under 3 years of age and pregnant women. Under the restructured ICDS scheme, 3,535 Anganwadi centers buildings are sanctioned. As part of our efforts to reduce maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rate, malnutrition and ensure healthy growth of infants, my government has provided 1 full meal a day to 3.45 lakh pregnant and lactating women. More than 90,000 malnourished children identified in various programs have been covered under the Special Care and Supervised Feeding Scheme Gurumudalu. I am happy to announce my government has decided to provide rice at the rate of 5 kilos per head to each white card holder at rupees 1 per kilo from 1st April this year. Safety and security of women is one of the topmost priorities of my government. And the various steps taken to protect women from social evils and thereby provide them with a secure environment, my government has ensured to place 1 woman deputy superintendent of police for each of the 13 districts of the state. With a view to address the women-related issues more comprehensively, my government is working out to evolve an appropriate institutional mechanism for gender-responsive budgeting. New initiatives like iClick, Abhayam, CCTV network coverage of the urban areas, CCTV coverage of police stations have been initiated to make women safe and secure in our state. In tune with the Government of India's vision of housing for all by 2020, my government is also contemplating to provide houses for all the deserving 67,490 houses that have been completed in the financial year 2014-15. Last few years have witnessed corrupt practices and allotment houses has gone through unfair means. My government, with a view to ensure that the deserving people get their benefits, have taken up geotagging of the houses with the help of National Remote Sensing Center, and so far 25.80 lakh houses were geotagged against a target of 36.82 lakh houses constructed in the year 2004 to 2014. Aadhaar seeding is completed for 33.08 lakh houses. It is my privilege to inform this august House that the Government of Andhra Pradesh is one of the 3 states in the country selected for implementation of Power for All program. Government of Andhra Pradesh is committed to supply 24/7 quality, reliable and affordable power to all domestic, commercial and industrial consumers, and will also ensure 7 hours of free power supply to farmers. AP Discoms have already tied up sufficient power for the year 2015-16. My government is giving big thrust to renewable energy, particularly solar and wind. It is proposed to add a significant quantum of wind and solar energy in the year 2015-16. Two ultra-mega solar parks of 1,000 megawatts capacity each are being set up by the National Thermal Power Corporation, Vidyut Vyapar Nigam Limited, in Anantapuram and Kurnool, respectively. It is also proposed to provide 10,000 solar pump sets to farmers during 2015-16. The energy conservation and efficiency measures adopted by my government will help in a big way. All the domestic incandescent bulbs are being replaced with energy-efficient LEDs in the state. My government is taking steps to increase the green cover from the existing 25% to 33% and also encourage energy-efficient and environment-friendly green building constructions in all the municipal corporations and municipalities in the state. We have amended the Andhra Pradesh Building Rules 2012 accordingly. My government is evolving a model of port-led development. Long coastline will become the gateway of the state's prosperity. My government will connect the ports with the hinterland through road and rail network. Inland and coastal waterways will be developed as major transport routes. Andhra Pradesh will be made the logistic hub and gateway to Southeast Asia. Government has plans to develop 4 new ports in the state during 2015-16. It is proposed to develop 1 greenfield international airport at Bhogapuram near Visakhapatnam, besides modernization of 3 existing airports at Tirupati, Vijayawada and Rajamandri to international standards and development of 6 no-frill airports. My government is also taking up 1 floating storage regasification unit LNG terminal at Kakinada in association with GAIL India, GDF Suez and Shell. AP Gas Development Corporation is laying gas pipelines from Kakinada to Srikakulam, Tumkur to Tirupati and the pipeline from Vijayawada to Nellore. It is the endeavor of the government to extend gas pipeline to each and every household over a period of time. To reinforce our commitment to make Andhra Pradesh a globally competitive and responsive industrial hub, we have introduced a system of single desk clearance under e-BIS to enhance the ease of doing business in the state, to make it a competitive destination for investments. Necessary permissions and clearances will be accorded in 21 days time under this system. The e-BIS project envisages a G2B, Government to Business Interface portal, to serve as a one-stop shop for delivery of efficient services to investors and industries. We are also working on ensuring ease of doing business by simple procedures and deleting redundant laws and rules. My government is keen to develop urban infrastructure in the state, including mega convention centers, international schools, sport complexes, and golf courses. A large number of companies from Japan have started visiting the state. Works relating to the mega food park in Chittoor district, mega aqua park near Bhimavaram, and mega weavers cluster in Guntur district are in progress. Mega agriculture food parks, electronics and hardware parks, minor ports, domestic air terminals, textile parks, aqua processing units have been proposed as part of district-wide strategy for industrial promotion and employment generation. The vision of Andhra Pradesh tourism is to promote steady and sustained growth phase of the travel and tourism sector in Andhra Pradesh, making the destinations more accessible, more attractive with many facilities and amenities for the tourists worldwide. Various tourist circuits are being planned to attract more tourists. My government's decision to build a world-class capital city for New Andhra Pradesh near Vijayawada is picking up pace. I am sure the new capital city will be an ideal role model in the entire country. The first phase of the master plan of the new capital city will be ready by June 2015. The Capital Region Development Authority is entrusted with the development activity. The most welcome and exhilarating feature of the biggest of its kind land pooling in the country and perhaps in the world is that nearly 33,000 acres of land has been voluntarily given by enthusiastic farmland owners who have become very willing partners in the development of the capital. The US government, to support this initiative, has signed MOU with the government of Andhra Pradesh for developing smart city in Visakhapatnam. Under this MOU, US government will provide funds and technical inputs for feasibility studies, study tools and workshops to materialize the ideal into reality. In an effort to tap the best talent available anywhere in the globe, my government is actively engaging with governments, companies and PSUs in the countries like Japan, Singapore, USA, Australia and other nations for inviting investment and technology transfer. Australia is keen to work with the state government in the field of agriculture and dairy industry. My government is keen to bring in necessary administrative reforms to ensure corrupt-free administration. We have set up a cabinet subcommittee to examine the corruption that has prevailed in the government during the last few years. My government is also working out the strategies to institutionalize corruption-free and good governance practices so as to make the principle of a less government and more governance a reality. All the technology and development should necessarily help create a healthy and happy society. My government is embarking on establishing a new system of transparency in welfare programs by using technology. beneficiaries of welfare pensions are now getting information relating to delivery of benefits like pension, etc. on their mobile phones. E-governance is a major initiative in bringing good governance. 100% Aadhaar-based system to ensure the timely delivery of intended benefits to the eligible person is going to be the cornerstone of delivery system in the state. We are establishing a state enterprise architecture to realize the vision of e-governance and to leverage technology for effective service delivery. Our information technology policy aims to achieve 5% share in national IT exports. The focus will be on development of 2 ITIRs, promotion of 10 IT hubs, 20 manufacturing clusters, and creation of 5 lakh jobs. The new IT policy envisages broadband connectivity to every household. My government is seriously concerned about providing employment to both skilled and unskilled workforce. In respect of providing jobs, we have plans to fill in the vacancies of teachers and other posts. The efforts are being made by my government to attract investments and set up industries in a big way, will provide employment in the private sector, and necessary skills will impart to the unemployed in various trades with a motto to generate maximum employment. My government has taken up a program which would develop Andhra Pradesh into an infrastructure hub in the coming years. Through the innovation and startup policy, the government intends to create an ecosystem that produces an entrepreneur in every family. In line with the thinking of the Government of India's Digital India initiative, our aim is to create at least one homegrown billion-dollar technology startup. My government is planning to make the HUDD affected areas cyclone-proof with the support of the World Bank, putting in place an underground cabling and other infrastructure works. The reconstruction works are continuing in these affected areas. A United Nations report which has put the losses at $11 billion in HUDD cyclone lauded the commitment and timely rescue operations undertaken by the state government and praised the disaster preparedness and timely evacuation that saved many lives. Keeping in view the damage and needs assessment, the Government of Andhra Pradesh requested the Department of Economic Affairs for support for a new disaster recovery project of $250 million, financed by the World Bank for damage reconstruction, recovery, and disaster risk mitigation. Considering increase in longevity and working capacity of persons, my government have raised the retirement age of the government employees by 2 years from 58 to 60 years. With this decision, the government employees who are the pillars of administration will have the opportunity to use their experience to serve people for 2 more years. To make them even happier and inspire them to render better service, my government have announced to implement the 10th Pay Revision Commission recommendation and effected a substantial hike of 43% fitment in pay with retrospective effect from June 2, 2014. Since employees form an important segment in society and keeping in view their impeccable commitment for integration shown during the state bifurcation period, my government has since decided to lift the cases booked against the employees in the Samaikandra movement. Government have also issued orders to treat the strike period as a special casual leave and release the salary withheld by the government employees. Health cards are also being issued to take care of health concerns of employees. Health cards have also been issued to media persons. All the cases booked against people who agitated for keeping the state united during the Samaikandra movement have been unconditionally lifted by the state government. A few cases booked by the central government agencies like the railways are in the process of being withdrawn. Respecting the traditions and living close to nature have been the hallmarks of this land. We have a culture to treat river as mother. Pushkaram is essentially worship of Mother River. In order to make the Godavari Pushkarams a grandeur event, my government is undertaking several works to renovate the existing infrastructure as well as create additional facilities in the towns which host Pushkarams on a big scale. My government is committed to protect the cultural heritage, the age-old sentiments of people, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. On the eve of Sankranti in January 2015, my government came up with the offer of free package worth Rs 240 each called Chandrana Sankranti Kanuka, comprising 6 essential commodities to all white ration card holders, incurring expenditure of Rs 286 crores. Under NTR Arogya Seva, the ceiling of the cost of treatment has been raised to 2.5 lakh. Besides, 100 diseases are covered anew, taking the total number of diseases covered by the scheme to 1038. The government is committed to strengthen and revamp the health sector. As part of the universalization of elementary education program, more than 6.33 lakh children have been enrolled into Class 1 under the Badi Pilustundi program. 24,923 children were admitted into schools from 31,286 out-of-school children. Additionally, my government will strive for 10% literacy as means to access the better livelihood opportunities and to eradicate darkness of the social evils prevalent in society. We also strongly feel that education is the greatest equalizer. Under the social empowerment mission launched recently by my government, the state is envisioning to set standards in the higher education spectrum. Reflecting our commitment to enhance job opportunities, we have set up Skill Development Center in Vijayawada, which, as a part of the skill mission, will strive to impart enriched capacities. With the IIM at Visakhapatnam turning out to be a reality, I am quite optimistic that all the other institutes of excellence promised by the Centre will be launched soon. Special efforts will be made for improving quality of education and skill development in order to empower the youth, especially women. Andhra Pradesh will soon become a knowledge state and an education hub. While we prioritize welfare and development, my government pays adequate attention to the safety and security of the citizens. Transformational process in AP Police has been initiated by leveraging technology. Protection of natural resources is a key concern of my government. In our endeavors to put an end to smuggling and other illegal activities, my government have created a specialized unit, the Red Sanders Task Force. The unit strives to curb red sanders smuggling. The determined and organized response to red sanders smuggling has yielded positive results. Similar efforts are also being made to protect other natural resources like sand and barriers. For maintaining law and order, my government will effectively implement the existing statutes and strengthen surveillance. By and large, the last few months of post-bifurcation period has been an eventful period for the state and for our country. Encouraging levels of economic growth and implementation of a number of development and welfare programs is a testimony to this. In this challenging period, we will work relentlessly and achieve the best possible results. ఈ సంక్లిష్ట సమయంలో ముఖ్యంగా ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ రాష్ట్ర పునః నిర్మాణంలో రాజకీయ పార్టీల అతీతంగా 50 మంది ప్రజలు ముందుకు రావాలని నేను విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నాను. నా ప్రభుత్వంపై అపారమైన నమ్మకం ఉంచి రాజధాని నిర్మాణంలో ఇష్టపూర్వకంగా స్వచ్ఛందంగా తమ భూములు ఇచ్చిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరిని నేను మనసారా అభినందిస్తున్నాను. ఈ మహత్తర కార్యక్రమంలో వారు చేసిన త్యాగాన్ని రాబోయే తరాలు ఎప్పటికీ గుర్తుంచుకుంటాయి. శాశ్వత ప్రతిపదికని చెప్పుతున్నాను. అనేక ప్రభుత్వ కార్యక్రమాలకు కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వ సహకారం తప్పనిసరి. ప్రభుత్వం చేపట్టిన అనేక అభివృద్ధి సంక్షేమ కార్యక్రమాలకు కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం కూడా ఇతోధికంగా సహాయం అందిస్తుందని ఆశిస్తున్నాను. ప్రజా సంక్షేమ దృష్టి అన్ని రాజకీయ పక్షాలు ఈ సమావేశంలోనే అనేక అంశాలపై ఫలవంతమైన చర్చలు జరపాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాను. జై హింద్.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।